Well, good morning, beautiful souls. Today is Saturday, March 12th, 2022. Let's put that in there because where this little rant on mindfulness is going will make sense if anybody watches it in the future and sees what's going on in the world out there. So, as I was saying, I usually don't record on Saturdays or Sundays because it is family time. But my husband had to work, so I thought I would hop on here and just talk a little bit again about mindfulness, but taking it in a little direction about mindfulness in your environment. And my hair is sticking up. Sorry, it is super windy out there, and I just went and put the laundry out. It just about blew me away with the sheet. I'm telling you. But I want to talk about how much waste is going on in the world and how we have become a wasteful society, a gluttonous society, and just greedy, just absolutely greedy, you know. But I'm going to look at it as in your environment and around you and, your community type thing. Now, when I went and filled up with diesel yesterday, I was just over a half a tank and I stopped when it hit 50 pound '03. I thought, whoa, for being over a half a tank, that is a lot of money, an extreme lot of money. And then when I started it up, it didn't even take me to a full tank. Now I am looking for an electric car, but obviously, with the state of the world, the petrol prices, everything going up, energy prices, you know what? You can't find them. They're going like crazy. But it was my intention when we did have our solar panels put on, because we can get electric plug, and I was going to get an electric car. I did have a smart car at one time. I called it my little smartie. You mention it around my husband, he curls up on the floor and cries because I kind of blew the engine. How? Oh, hey, nothing about having a lead foot or anything, or driving it hard. I drive like a granny, especially on this side of the world when you're on the wrong side of the road, 10 and 2 and 2 miles an hour, but I still managed to blow the engine. So, anyways, enough of that. Let's talk about the environment and supporting our community. Oh, where to start? There's so much waste out there, especially when it comes to food, and I'm hearing. Sorry, I got an itchy nose. I'm hearing about how people can't afford to eat. Well, I was told about this app, Good Before It's Gone, or something like that. And you look in your local area, and it has stuff coming up that's getting close to their sell by date that they make up what they call magic boxes. So I thought I'd check it out. Our co-op in our village had one, well, four or five of them. They were selling them for £3 with £10 worth of items in it. I think that's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But the one problem from my point of view, and I'm going to tell anybody who will listen that uses the co-op and stuff like that, is personally for myself, I do not want processed foods. I do not want ready-made meals, microwavable meals, anything like that. And because all our meat comes from a butcher and he sources in the Leicestershire area, which is the community I live in, um, I don't want, stuff that's been sitting in a rail can for a year vacuum sealed when it comes to your fruits and vegetables. I will go seasonal, and I think that's where everything has gone horribly wrong. We demand that we have tomatoes in December when tomatoes are not in season in this country in December, but we want them. So it's that mindset, being mindful of what season it is, what um, fruit and veg are out there during this season. And I'll tell you what, it tastes a whole lot better because when winter comes, that is when I crave the squashes and the pumpkins and things like that. I just love roasted pumpkin and butternut squash soup and onion squash, and I just love all that stuff. But come summertime, I really don't want it because it's too heavy. I like the lettuces, the potatoes, the cucumbers, the radishes, that sort of things. So looking at it that way, but we're forcing ourselves now to have lettuce, tomato, all that sort of thing when it's not in season. Even though our body's saying, yeah, we really don't want it, but we're saying, yeah, well, we should have it, have our greens type thing. But that's not what your body needs. And we've lost that somewhere along the line. So now we we can't afford to eat because everything's force growing, mass force growing. Prices are going up to mass force grow this stuff. The grocery stores will not accept anything unless it's absolutely perfect. And when they do, they'll call it wonky. And it's not necessarily half the price. I'd rather go directly to, Farmer Joe down the road and get his cucumbers when they're in season, when he's selling them in his little sign says cucumbers, eggs, things like that from his chickens. Because I know myself, we use a dairy. I drink raw milk, and I think it's the best thing for you. And also, where we get at the dairy, the raw milk, we also get duck eggs. Now, he also sells honey from a local beekeeper, which is another thing. For allergies and things like that, if you can get the area that you live in, the bee pollen, and they look like little orange and yellow knobby things. Start putting that in your cereal. You build a tolerance to your allergens in your area, like in the Leicestershire area. I don't have hay fever, but yeah, I do like my bee pollen and I do like my honey, but I'd rather have my honey from a local beekeeper because I'm keeping him in business. It's just a ripple effect as it goes along. So, I don't know if you heard that crumple, but the other thing that was really driving me bonkers is Amazon. You know what? I love Amazon. I really do because I have a lot of things on subscription, like loo roll or toilet paper, depending what side of the world you're on. I get bamboo. I do pay a couple quid more for it, but bamboo is sustainable because it grows something like 3 feet every day. So I like that thought of it. And it doesn't come wrapped in plastic, the bags themselves. But you always get like this big honking box that you could put like 50 packages in, and they got all these little plastic air things in. I don't want that. I don't want that. So today, my loo roll showed up, or my toilet paper, and I was just tickled. I was absolutely thrilled because, sorry for the crunching, it came in a paper bag. Yes, yes, this is a very big paper bag, which for me is perfect because now when I get potatoes, I can put them in there and put them in my garage. Or if I'm sending something else out, I flip it around, tape it all up. There you go, your outside packaging. Or if I want to, I can cut it into pieces and run it through a shredder. And then I have my shred when I have something breakable in a box that I need to ship out. It's a win-win all the way across. Now, if I get too many of them, which I'm saving my bamboo ones up for, to shred, if I don't use them all up, we have a local animal shelter or animal sanctuary here who need shred for bedding. Win-win. Win-win. You don't have to throw it in the garbage. And if I read on this package, I won't pick it up again because it crinkles. It should be biodegradable. We have a composter. So rip it up and throw it in the composter. And it composts down because I do that with my coffee filters because they're not bleached. And coffee in the filter and the whole thing goes in the compost and they get put in the flower beds, which are, we do wildflowers and we have a few edible herbs in there like chives and rosemary and all this sort of stuff. We throw it right on there. Brilliant. Beautiful. Bob's your uncle. I'm telling you. It's all about what you can do for yourself and sustainability. Now, to get back to the food thing, I just got too excited there because I kept seeing my bag over here and I wanted to talk about it. Is in the UK, I found one that does fruit and vegetables from the farmers. They call around, see who has fruit and veg that have to get off and get out of there. and they only deliver in certain areas at a certain time. So I have ordered a fruit and veg box, and I ordered to feed a family of four. There's only two of us here. The brilliant thing is, it cost $19.99 for a family of four, but that's for a 2 week period. So the brilliant thing is, they have recipes on what you can do with the food. So if you get something and you're looking at it, what am I going to do with like rocket and basil and whatever else? Make some pesto. Do something. There's always something you can do with it to reclaim these foods and keep them for longer. That's where a freezer is really going to come in handy, I know for myself. Because if I get a whole whack of potatoes, and this is what I'm hoping for, I am making hash browns like there's no tomorrow. I'm just doing the shredded ones. And it's so simple. It is so simple. People go and buy the bags, like I think Trader Joe, you guys know him as. We don't have that here. We have some processed crap that they squish together. It's just not the shred. You shred the potatoes, you rinse them off, you dry them, and now what I do, just really quickly, is I throw them in a frying pan, do a quick, it would be the equivalent of blanching something like a minute in boiling water. Do it really quick, let it cool, Ziploc bags or containers. I clean out my Ziploc bags and reuse them. But I'm eventually completely replacing everything with glass, like your Pyrex dishes and all the different sizes. And you put them in the freezer. Oh, I'm getting bad for doing that and hitting my mic. You put it in the freezer. And when you need it, you take it out, you break a bit off. In the frying pan it goes, the rest goes back in the freezer. There's your hash browns. And you can do loads and loads and loads. But I know you have to shred them, you have to go through the process. But if you can get, say, a bag of potatoes for 99p compared to a bag of hash browns, again, I don't know what your Trader Joe's and all that costs there, but to buy a brand of Trader or hash browns that are processed in potato chunks and stuck together can range anywhere from, say, Aldi or Lidl's cheap version, 99p I think they were, up to who knows how much. But you don't know what you're getting in it. I'd rather take the time, spend a day, a Saturday, Sunday, just all day cooking and doing whatever I need to do. And then feed my family for the next month, which, okay, I enjoy doing that. But I also enjoy knowing that they're getting nutritious food, and it's creating an environment of health and well-being, and not to mention cost savings in doing something for the environment. So when I receive this box, which is coming March 18th, because that's when they deliver in my area, and it'll become between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. And I had to tell them where to leave it. And I just said on the doorstep, and if anybody wants my fruit and veg, they need it that bad, then they can have it. But then again, we're like Fort Knox. We got enough security cameras around here that we could probably follow them home. But when that box comes in, I'm curious to see what it is. And then I will hop on their website and get the recipes off to see what we can cook with it and go through that process. And then do a comparison to what it costs in a grocery store. Because the days of preserving and cooking your own meals seems to be lost. And people, is that why we're in the shit now? Is we've lost those abilities to fend for ourselves and survive? Well, I'll tell you what. I am getting so sick of grocery stores. We need to really bring the farmers back. We really need to bring good, wholesome food back. Because then what happens? We bring our health back. Yeah, it's a ripple effect, a domino effect. But people just want what they want. I can't change the world, but I can start with myself. And I can show you how easy it is. On some level, you have to put some effort into it. And we'll just see where it goes. But for now, I'm going to love you and leave you, my beautiful souls, because I got an Amazon bag to cut up. I know what I'm doing with it. So, yeah, a bit of it is going to go to repackage something, because I do have a website, And I might as well tell you www.hempnaturally.co.uk. And that's my husband. He sells hemp oil and all the good stuff, CDB or CBD oil, which, it's all natural. It's all good for you. We got a blog on there. And there's also something called Mystic Bison, which is myself. And it's a spiritual area. And now Mystic Bison will also have something called Dragonfly 10, which will be the mindfulness section. But that's all a work in process at the moment. But I do have a couple items I need to send out, and that's the bag it's going to go in, part of it anyways. And I'm just so excited. I love paper bags. You could hear a crinkle. Okay. In between all that, I'm doing some spring cleaning again, which I love to do when my husband's not home. He says the house constantly gets spring cleaned. So nothing wrong with that, honey. Okay, love you and leave you. Have an absolutely amazing day. Bye-bye.